Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're going to jump in and start reviewing the inaugural piece that started the whole thing called Witch Hollow, and that's Hilda's Witch Haunt. That's the first piece that was made. It was produced back in 2012, and if you were to get the piece brand new in 2012, it would have cost you $75 retail. They also released a coordinating piece to go with Hilda's Witch Haunt, and that is Hilda herself. And I will tell you that of all the Witch series products that I've seen or that I have, Hilda is by far the scariest witch I think Department 56 has ever made. There are some pretty scary ones, but Hilda is pretty freaky looking. As a matter of fact, I won't even be in the same room with this little piece by myself. Actually, I probably would, because I'm going to have to use it to build everything. But she's pretty scary, and we're going to take a look and see why she's so scary, at least in my opinion. So, hey, with that, we're going to jump right in and start reviewing the first inaugural 2012 piece of Hilda's Witch Haunt and the witch herself, Hilda. Okay, like I start most of my reviews, here is the box for Hilda's Witch Haunt. Again, released in 2012, costing you $75 if you bought it retail when it was released. And it is the first of many annual pieces to celebrate Witch Hollow and the whole witch society. And it's a pretty cool piece. And the box obviously does it pretty good justice. This one has, when I bought it, it came with a purple light inside. Now, the cool part is, all these are corded, so you can take an LED light of your choosing, your choice, and you can change the color of this light. As a matter of fact, I bought a whole bunch of bulbs off of Amazon, the little C7 LED bulbs that are orange and green and purple, and they actually light up a little bit better than this one, a little brighter, and they look better in my opinion. So I'm going to change most of mine out to kind of reflect those different color lights as I start building this. But purple looks pretty good, honestly. And so this is a really quaint house. All of the Witch Hollow pieces are resembling different parts of clothing, mostly hats from the Witch series. And so this is no different. It's a little cabin, a little area in the wood, kind of, branched on either side by some trees. There's obviously as a witch, you're gonna have some sort of a cat around with you, typically a black cat, and so you see that standing by the door. The detail on this piece alone, back in 2012, is old style Department 56, and you can see just how cool the paint job is. The windows are framed with a little green wood trim. The door, you can see the wood texture on the door. You can see the wood timbers around the door, and then kind of blocking in the stonework there. So just really, really intricate detail. And I love the windows, how it's kind of a colored orange and yellow. So typical Halloween colors. And then, in my opinion, when you put the purple light inside of this, it just makes everything look more like Halloween. And the trees are kind of symbolic of holding up the hat there. And then if we come up a little bit higher, you can see another little window kind of sitting in the edge of the hat there, with a little stovepipe or some sort of an outlet there, with a little witch hat also on top of that. And then you've got the typical bat that hangs on top of the hat itself. So then if we zoom back out and start turning this bad boy around, on this side, and again, just as detailed here, you see a broom closet, which is pretty cool when you think about it. The same exquisite detail all around this house. It doesn't get any better or any worse than this. And this is old school Department 56. We're going to bypass Hilda real quick. We'll come back to her. I'm going to move this tree out of our way. And then you can see a little wood pile with some fall leaves scattered on top of that, a couple of more windows. Still, you've got everything is flanked by the trees holding this up. And then if we come around to the back of this, you've got a back door, and you can see where the power cord comes out. But just really, really, really good detail on this whole piece. This is a very cool looking piece for Witch Hollow. Now, $75, back in 2012 was probably a substantial amount for the time, But trying to find this piece now on eBay or Mercari or any other secondhand market, it's going to set you back a little bit more than $75. These are going for somewhere between, you can find them at a good deal at 150 to 175 if you're patient. More often than not, you'll see these broaching the 200 plus, sometimes close to $300 price range. So these have certainly held and gone up in value. Hilda, on the other hand, is also a pretty cool piece, a little bit easier to find and not nearly as expensive as some of the other coordinating accessories. But let's zoom in and take a look at Hilda, and I'll tell you, Hilda is freaky looking. I mean, Hilda is a scary, scary woman. She is a scary witch. I'm trying to focus in on her, but look at her face, look at her eyes. I mean, they're basically non-existent. She's got the white in the eyes, kind of the white mouth, the big purple circles around her eyes, kind of looking like a zombie move there. But look at her hair and look at her head. Dude, that is freaky looking. This is kind of like an SOS type pad that they've used to create her hair. It's old and silver, and it's just, it's pretty cool looking, honestly. I mean, they did a really, really good job on it. But man, oh man, is she not scary? She is a typical, scary nightmare, and I'm trying to focus on her a little bit better if I can. Let me pull her down here and see if that helps us at all. Now I've got to find her, good grief. Okay, so here she is. I mean, look at the detail on her. Now, she is a resin piece, and the cool part here is the broom is sort of floating on a little spring, kind of like a little bobblehead contraption there. And so you can see how she is kind of making her broom do things on its own. She is certainly controlling of her broomstick, which is a pretty cool feature. The base of this is incredibly detailed, just a really, really cool paint job with all the leaves, and it's just, honestly, I mean, look at the detail on the broom and the broom handle, her hands. It just doesn't get much better than that as far as detail. And so she is probably, again, like I said, in my opinion, she is the scariest witch of them all. And so, when putting her out by her house, this just really completes this entire setup for me. It is a really cool piece. I'm so happy to have it in my collection, and this is going to be prominently displayed in the Witch Hollow vignette display that we're getting ready to undertake. So wanted you to see a closer look at the first piece. We're going to go through each week and go through a couple of these pieces so you can kind of get a better understanding of what they look like, and if you want to add them to your collection, if you can find them. Some of them are still readily available. Again, retail price on Hilda's Witch Haunt in 2012 was $75. Hilda herself, $17.50. She is made of resin, which I love the detail in resin for the accessories, the coordinating accessories, and then the Witch Haunt itself, her little hut there, is made out of ceramic or porcelain, and it's very well done. So there is a better and closer look at the inaugural 2012 kickoff series to Witch Hollow. Well, guys, hopefully that gives you a better look and a more detailed look at the 2012 Witch Hollow piece, Hilda's Witch Haunt, and Hilda herself. Again, the scary witch. I love that I have her in my collection. I love that she's so scary. Some of the other witches are not as scary. They're all sort of green looking. I mean, they're very indicative of what you would envision and imagine that a witch would look like. But I love Hilda. Happy to have her in my collection. Happy to have the 2012 piece. And so, like I said earlier, we're going to go through each week and we're going to review a couple of these pieces. There's a lot that I want to review. You saw yesterday's video where everything's just kind of lined up on the table, and I still am trying to get a few more pieces to add to this collection. So as I do that, I'll try to do a couple of reviews a week and get a lot of this stuff just knocked out so you can get a better look, a better detail. And if you're on the fence like I was, I don't know, a year and a half or so ago on collecting Witch Hollow, man, I was just so torn. I was like, I don't want to add something else to my collection. I'll probably never use it. And then I saw some of the detail pieces on the little witch houses for Witch Hollow. And my imagination started going, and I'm like, these are really well done. They're really cool. They're really symbolic. They've been around since 2012 and they're still going strong. They release one every year, just like they do the Crypt series. And you know how I feel about the Crypt series. And so now I feel the same way about Witch Hollow. And so I'm trying like crazy to complete that set. And so again, hopefully the reason I'm doing this is to kind of give you a better look inside of what these actually look like and how they're constructed and the accessories, the coordinating pieces that go with them. So that way, if you're on the fence, maybe you'll jump one way or the other. I jumped into the, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend a lot of money and try and get this collection knocked out. Maybe you guys will too. Maybe you won't, but hey, you get a better look at the witch houses. So hey, with that, we're going to knock this one out for today. Like always, if you like the video, make sure you click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. It helps the channel to grow. It helps me personally, and I do appreciate every subscriber that I get. Do you have questions or comments? Throw those out there. I try to answer every single question or comment. I don't think there's one that I haven't either liked or responded to since I've started this YouTube channel over a year and some change ago. So I appreciate all those coming in. Keep those coming. I absolutely enjoy it. So until we do our next review or our next build, take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you again real soon.